Good morning. Welcome to Darold Miller Live here on the ZNS radio and television networks. And we are streaming all over the world at www.znsbahamas.com. Psalm 69. Save me, O God, for the waters are come in unto my soul. I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. I am come into deep waters where the floods overflow me. I am weary of my crying. My throat is dried. Mine eyes fail while I wait for my God. Let us pray. Our God and our Father who art in heaven, we come humbly before you this morning to thank you for keeping us safe overnight and for awakening us this morning. We come to thank you for all of the blessings that you continue to shower upon us, the rain and the sunshine, good health and strength, life and liberty, these beautiful islands and bountiful waters with which you have blessed us. So filled with natural resources, everyone's trying to get here. Oh God, we pray your blessings upon our guest today, and we thank you for bringing her here safely to the capital. Bless all those who listen and watch. Guide us and direct us and control us. In Jesus' name, amen. I was excited. Now I'm a bit melancholy. Our very special guest today is a co-worker. First of all, let me thank the visionary leadership here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. In this case, your Northern Services Deputy General Manager, Darren Meadows in Freeport, Grand Bahama, for allowing you this opportunity to be with us here on the national show in Nassau. Thank you for coming. Shanae
Strong.
Shanae Strong. 28 years old.
28 years old.
And you are what we call in the business a video editor or a videographer. You change your name?
I like to call myself a visual storyteller.
A visual storyteller?
Yes, that's the term that I use.
Uh-huh.
I tell stories visually through photography and videography.
Uh-huh. Meaning stills and video.
Stills and video.
And what is the story to tell?
The story to tell is Hurricane Dorian and the road to recovery. And that's the story.
Grand Bahama still mash up.
We getting there. We getting there.
Mm-hmm. We got a special video to show. That's coming up, I guess, in this a little later, once we get it all queued up and everything. Did I say the right word? You already produced it?
Yeah, the video is packaged and ready to go.
And you sent it to?
I did.
To Tyler Perry?
I sent. Well, it's out there. I did send it to Tyler Perry's his studio's email address, and there's several different places on the internet that has it out there. So it's out there for God to let it move.
Let's back up a bit. Who is Shanae? Shanae. Shanae. Who is Shanae Strong?
Shanae Strong is first of all a child of God, a God-fearing young woman. I am an artist, a visionary. and a young Grand Bahamian with a passion for my people and a passion for just the betterment of my country and a passion for film and television.
The most important thing I heard was passion.
Passion. I eat, breathe, sleep, work, film and television. Passion.
And so, even though you were, celebrating? Because you just turned 28.
Just turned 28.
Sorry to give you age. You were celebrating. You still have passion for the devastation. Somebody described this as apocalyptic devastation in Abaco and Grand Bahama. You still have passion to go out there and work.
Passion is hope. Passion is hope right now, you know, hope to recover, hope to rebuild. That's hope.
You were born where?
I was born in Iran. Freeport, Grand Bahama, in Iran Memorial Hospital. So Grand Bahamian, born and bred, as they say.
And what area you from?
I from Freeport, Lakaya, all my life. Lived in one home until I left for college.
In the video, you talk about High Rock.
High Rock. High Rock. My mother was born in High Rock, and my grandmother is from High Rock. So High Rock, I wouldn't say was. High Rock is a big part of my life. And that's where we spend holidays and summers and weekends at my Grammy's house in High Rock. So very, very important part of my life.
The house still standing?
Still standing. The greenhouse on the hill still standing strong. Despite the devastation in Dorian.
How's your mom?
My mom's good.
How are you?
I'm good.
You're crying.
Yeah, I didn't think I would get it.
I cried when I watched the video.
You did?
Yes. I cried because of the passion. And I guess thousands have seen it. I guess some of them cried too.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback have you had on it?
Amazing feedback, just so much support, so much positivity. And what I love is that there's so much believers in God, just believing that God will touch Mr. Perry's heart and God will make sure the letter gets delivered to the right persons. It's just been so much positive. I haven't seen out of the thousands of comments one negative comment. It's just been all positivity, all people see the passion. They don't see the vessel that's producing it. They see the passion behind the vision and the heart that this is a hope and a dream for Grand Bahama, for the lives of thousands of Bahamians.
You say you are a visual storyteller. The story you're telling is, I guess now, recovery, restoration. What's happened has happened, and it was very, very unfortunate. But my focus now is the vision, to bring hope back to Bahamians, to restore Grand Bahama to better than it was before. See, a lot of people look on what Grand Bahama was, but my focus is where we're going to be, where God has taken our island. Tell me, bring me up to date, because I haven't been since the hurricane to Grand Bahama. I went into Abaco, was overwhelmed, got sick. I want to go to Grand Bahama soon. Some of the familiar places I know, obviously ZNS.
Yeah.
not damaged.
We're doing good. You know, the elevators are down, but I think we need to exercise. So the stairs has been nice.
Downtown, Esquire, for example. That's my favorite store there.
Esquire.
They still there?
Esquire is still there, and they actually gave out suits after the storm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to persons in the community, they gave away suits. You know, that's the type of spirit that's going on in Grand Bahama right now. Businesses, just a spirit of giving and being our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
So they gave
And then there's Richie Calypso.
Cheese Calypso's.
That's another favorite store of mine.
Giving away shoes, Clarice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Richie's.
Then there's the Pink Building.
The Pink Building. Is that the Mayport Bistro?
No, the Pink Building is the Pink Building. The Port Building.
The Port. Well, you know, the Port can always be around, so they still standing.
Their role in recovery and restoration, have you can you talk about these things?
The Port, you know, some topics these days you can stay off topic, you know, and I think they're doing good. You know, I think they're doing a good job as far as restoration, you know, with water.
Electricity back on.
Electricity is back on. I'm pretty sure most places are powered, in the exception of the East End. But I mean, it's a month post Dorian, and a lot of the island is fully recovered. The water isn't as salty as it was post the storm. You know, that salt taste is not in the water anymore. So we have water and we have electricity. You know, so that's very important.
How do you tell the story visually when somebody is battered and devastated and lost everything? They're in a daze. They don't know which way to turn. How do you tell that story visually?
I guess I could just tell it through my lens. You know, through my experience, through my faith and through my perseverance and my resilience. You know, and I try to share that in a way where other people, it may not be your story, but in a way that inspires people or encourages people. You know, yes, I'm one person that's telling this story, but I speak for Bahamians. We're strong and resilient people. And that was one of the key lines in that video. Bahamians are strong and resilient people of great faith. And through me saying that or professing that, that's how I tell it.
What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Glenda.
Glenda what?
Camp.
And your grandmother, who you talk about?
Golden Camp.
They call her Goldie?
Goldie. Golden Camp is her name.
She's passed, eh?
No, she's alive and well. She's living with us now.
But she was in High Rock?
Yes. She wasn't in High Rock during the storm, but that's where she resides.
Okay. We're going to take our first break, and then when we come back, we want to show this video of Shanae Strawn. You produce it?
No, Jason Smith, GFX Digital Studios. He's my go-to partner in videography. He produced the video. I wrote it, and he shot it and edited it.
So you're the executive producer?
I think I'm the director. I'm the director and the actress.
And the writer?
Yes, sir.
So you have a lot of skills. You know what I was thinking as I watched that? Movie. Are you thinking a film?
Oh, yeah. I have scripts ready, waiting on Mr. Perry's call.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a screenwriter. I started screenwriting when I was 11, so I'm in ready mode.
Where did you study? this?
I went to New Mexico Highlands University. I started at Northeast Community College in Broadcasting, Radio, and Television. And
Northeast is right in Florida.
This is in Nebraska.
Okay.
And then New Mexico Highlands University was where I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film for video and audio production.
This is a man's world, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm asking.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Videography is not a man's world?
It's a male-dominated field, but I think women are rising up in videography and, you know, directing, from Shonda Rhimes to Ava DuVernay to Issa Rae to Mara Akil. There's a lot of women rising up in this industry.
So, no disrespect to Darren Meadows, but 9 to 5 at ZNS, you ain't gonna be there 20 years from now.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. You know, I just have to let God order my steps. So I can't say if I'll be with ZNS 20 years from now, or if I'll be running the film studio in Grand Bahama, but I have big dreams and big hopes. And I would love to see or have ZNS to be a part of that, because this is where I started, home.
Let's take this break here on Darold Miller Live. Our very special guest is Shanae Strawn, 28-year-old visual storyteller, videographer with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, and she has directed a very dynamic video that we hope to show in just a minute. This is Darold Miller Live. We'll be back right after these messages.
Rolls Auto Parts and Accessories. For auto parts and more, don't roll with the punches anymore. Rely on Rolls Auto Parts and Accessories. Find the largest selection of starters, alternators, brake parts, and water pumps, even heavy-duty truck parts. We now carry hardware, electrical, and plumbing, and lawn and garden supplies too. At Rolls Auto Parts and Accessories, East Street South, call us at 392-1122 or 3. We're open 7 days a week from Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and carved body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Whether you're shopping for a little or a lot, save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Softex toilet tissue, 24-pack, $14.99. Rainbow corned beef, 12-ounce can, $1.89. Fresquito assorted cleaners, 32-ounce size, 2 for $3. Fresh celery, $1.79 each. Chicken bone-in breast, $1.89 per pound. Pick Street corn on the cob, 8 ears, $3.39. Shop and save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Summer is over, but the Primo offers are still hot at Marco's Pizza. We're fueling your taste buds this semester with our new carry-out deal. Let us handle your hunger. Order 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for $8.99 each, or 1 large, 1-topping pizza for $10.99. Our keys to success are fresh dough, original sauce, and 3 signature cheeses. Stay Primo and ditch the dry dough. Rule the semester with the Primo way only at Marco's. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you 1 monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me! What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
That's right, LD. You ain't hear me. Well, do I sign?
Kraft cares about the Bahamas. That's why we will give part proceeds from the sale of any Kraft product to Hurricane Dorian relief. So when you buy your favorite Kraft foods, you too will be giving assistance to affected victims of the storm. Kraft products are distributed by the Dalbina's Agency in Palmdale. Kraft Foods, helping people around the world eat and live better.
This is Darold Miller Live here on the ZNS radio and the television networks. And we are streaming all over the world at www.znsbahamas.com. We're doing this antiquated style, but it's all good. Shanae Strawn is with us, and she has this powerful dynamic video viewed thousands and thousands of times, and it is called Dear Tyler Perry. We're going to play it out of my laptop, and we are going to mic it so that we all can hear those in radio land. Here we go. This, and we could talk over this briefly, I think.
Just make sure it's full screen.
You want it full screen?
Yeah.
All right, we go in antiquated style here, but this is very, very powerful. Shanae Strawn, 28-year-old videographer, works with us at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
I pray that this letter meets you well. I've been meaning to write this for many years now, and have finally built up the courage to do so. I know you probably get thousands of letters, so I wanted to write this in a special way so that you can see it. I first would like to say thank you. Thank you for coming to the aid of the Bahamian people in such a time of crisis and devastation. My name is Shanae Strawn, and I'm from the island of Grand Bahama. For the past 2 weeks since the passing of Hurricane Dorian, I've witnessed the outpouring of love and support from people like yourself and many other international organizations like the Samaritan's Purse, the International Medical Corps, and many others that have fed us, counseled us, and taken care of us as we recover from the devastation of Hurricane Dorian. Love truly is the greatest force. Hurricane Dorian left a trail of destruction and destroyed many communities on Grand Bahama, one of them very near and dear to me. My roots are in the East End, and the settlement of High Rock, like many other communities in the East, was hit with a deadly blow. Lives were lost, persons are still missing, and many homes have been destroyed. One of them my grandmother's house. Grammy's house holds many memories of my childhood, where I would spend summers and weekends exploring the settlement, playing on the bay, catching soldier crabs and getting into mischief with my cousins. Those are some of my memories of High Rock. We have been broken, but we will heal. I took this photograph last February of the lighthouse and was happy to see that the cross is still standing after the storm. Bahamians are strong and resilient people of great faith, and just like this cross, my faith in God will stand through life's toughest storms. It will not be shaken. It will not be moved. God is still good. He is still faithful, and He will reveal His glory. We will rebuild and rise as a people and a nation stronger than ever before. And that is my focus now, creating a new vision for Grand Bahama. One founded on faith, love, unity, and culture. The International Bazaar was once a popular tourist destination that provided hundreds of jobs for Bahamians, but it fell to the destruction of Hurricanes Francis and Jane and is yet to recover. One of my visions is seeing the 427-acre property turned into a residential community. I was happy to see that more than 500 plus Bahamians are in support of this, as I shared a post recently on Facebook that has gone viral. The abandoned property has been an eyesore and a refuge for the homeless for many years now, and I want to build a community that will not only provide shelter, but create jobs and preserve culture as well. A community with clinics, grocery stores, educational centers, recreational centers, daycares, and so much more. My next vision is to develop the film and television industry on Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama has a rich film history and was once the home to a 3,500-acre film studio, where Disney would have filmed its Pirates of the Caribbean films. I would love to see the studio reopen to welcome film and television productions to the island. We have mass acres of land and natural sites that look like scenes out of a Hollywood movie. Grand Bahama is truly a playground for filmmakers. As a filmmaker myself, I know and understand the economic boost that the film and television industry pumps into an economy. It not only creates jobs, but it promotes tourism as well. And that is the vision that I have for Grand Bahama. I believe that the film and television industry will be the industry that will revive and restore the economy on this island. I've had this vision and passion for many years now, and my passion is burning now stronger than ever before. Today I work full-time as a production assistant in television. I am one of 2 females in my field, and as a woman I've had to fight to prove myself in this industry. I've met with persons of great influence to share this vision, and I will never forget their words. One asking the question, "This is great, but do you have a foreign investor?" And the second, "I like your passion, but you need a mentor." Sadly, it's never your own that believes in you first. With all the passion, knowledge, facts, insights that I had, no one has ever offered to be a mentor, which brings me to this letter. Mr. Perry, I am in need of a mentor, a season to learn, to network, to build and to develop my team so that I can bring my vision to reality. Mr. Perry, you have inspired me from when I was a teenager, and I can still find books from when I was in high school with the titles of films that I wrote, with the dream that would someday be produced by you. I've had dreams and hopes of one day working with you, and I hope that my courage and faith in writing this letter will open the doors to do so. I can't say thank you enough for coming through for the Bahamas. You truly are an inspiration and a hero. Sincerely, Shanae Strawn.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Oh, man. Very, very powerful, dynamic, poignant, elucidating. And Tyler Perry get it, eh? You sent it, he get it?
I sent it. I hope. I would hope that he has seen it or received it.
Do you know he spends a lot of time in the Bahamas?
I do. I do. And Tyler Perry was one of the first responders out to Abaco after the storm.
Later in this program, we're going to hear from others who assisted in helping to rescue those who were stranded. And there's a connection between the Bahamas and Florida that we are going to look at. There's a connection between Grand Bahama and Florida as well. You talk about that international bazaar. Did you see Ricky, the wood carver?
No, I haven't seen him since the storm.
He called me. He is okay. I don't know what the government plans are for the international bazaar. You want to see housing there?
I want to see that built into a residential community. Not just any residential community, but one with, you have recreational centers, and you have a Bahamian bazaar, where you have Andres and Abaco and Bimini and sections. I want to see, I have such a big vision for the bazaar, but residential is a big part of that.
You say in the video, you say you're really from the East End.
My roots.
Have you gone into the East End since?
I went into the East End.
Did you stop at McLeanstown, or you take the boat over to Sweden Ski?
I went all the way to Sweden Ski. So I went to the farthest east we could go. I went to Sweden Ski. We had our family reunion in Pelican Point this year, which was, just so symbolic. My whole family, I think it was in July, we all met in Pelican Point in July. And so I did go into East End because my Grammy was born in Pelican Point. So East End that's our roots.
You have family on Sweden Ski?
No family in Sweden Ski.
Okay.
Just Pelican Point and McLeanstown in High Rock.
Do you know Cardi?
Cardi from...
McCarty?
From where?
From McLeanstown. Big, strapping, tall man.
No, I don't know Cardi.
He runs the restaurant and bar right across from the ferry.
No, I don't know him.
The ferry, if you're going to Sweden Ski, you'd have to take the ferry. You have to take a boat, right? Yeah, he is right there. So the people are resilient. You see it every day.
Every day. Every day I've seen it. And what is so interesting that last week I did this at my college in New Mexico. They did a hurricane relief effort and they brought me over to speak about the storm. And one of the things, the professor, I presented it in an American government class. And the professor said, you can see the resilience of the people. And that word came from out of a foreigner's mouth, thousands of miles away. So the world sees us as resilient. And that just spoke volumes to me. That that was the word that came out of her mouth. That the people, you could see the resilience.
I don't want to sound crass, but why we need Tyler Perry? Could we do this without him? Could you make your movie, Dorian, without him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. With God, all things are possible. So I want Tyler Perry because he's an inspiration of mine. And that's who I want to.
That's the one you want mentor you.
To mentor me. Tyler don't have to make the movie. I'll take it. If the Port want to come to fund the movie, if Alive want to come to fund the movie, whoever want to fund the movie. But Tyler Perry is who I want as a mentor. To take me under his wings and to help me build this film and television industry in Grand Bahama. That's who I want as a mentor.
So you want to understudy him?
Yes.
One of the most talented persons I know is he. He plays 3 different roles in one movie. He's shooting the movie. He's directing the movie as well.
And acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's inspirational. That's the word I use to describe him. Because I originally wanted to be an actress and study theater, but my mommy said you go to school, you study something, so when you come back home, you get a good job. But acting is my true first passion, like what I wanted to be as a child.
Are you suggesting that we don't look at film as a moneymaker?
Acting, no. Not in Grand Bahama for sure. There's not much doors of opportunities compared to the States or Canada or abroad to be a working actor or actress in Grand Bahama. And see, that's why it's so important with the film industry, because the film industry will create those avenues for the Bahamians that have the artistic dreams of acting beyond the stage.
325-5403 is our number here in Nassau to call as we open the lines. 325-5404 and 325-5405. Those are the numbers in Nassau. From the family of islands, it's toll free 1-242-300-8255. You been into Abaco?
No, I haven't been into Abaco.
Abaco is a different story altogether.
It is. It is.
From what you have seen and heard, what's your analysis?
There's a lot. There's a lot right now. My cousin was actually in a bad car accident in Abaco yesterday.
Some people got killed.
Yeah, he was one that survived that accident. So it's been a lot these last 24 hours when it comes to Abaco. And it's so much with the storm and everything that's going on. I'm just praying for Abaco. And I'm grateful for the people that are there. The volunteers and the humanitarians and the first responders. And I'm just grateful for the people that are on that island to assist.
There's something called post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD. You seeing any of that since the hurricane?
I haven't seen post-traumatic stress disorder, but I've heard about it. I've heard of persons saying, they can't watch the footage because they have flashbacks and nightmares. I've heard of nightmares. So PTSD is real, and I think mental health definitely needs to be talked about, especially after so many people have went through Hurricane Dorian. It's very much so real, and I'm glad that the period because right after the storm, there's so much videos, of floods and so much videos circulating around, and I made it at a point on my social medias not to share that stuff because I am aware of things of like PTSD and things like that. When you're constantly seeing floods and accidents and all those things, it downloads into your memory and your psyche and creates things like PTSD, not only from experiencing but also watching.
Does ZNS have, by the way, let me congratulate and applaud our Northern Service, Darren Meadows, but mostly Ricardo, for the hurricane coverage. I think he was on vacation or leave or retirement or something and came back in. Yeah, he was excellent.
He was. They did a very wonderful job. We did a very wonderful job. And Megan and Sean, who was in Abaco, I commend them too because I shared a piece that they did, and it really touched the people abroad. So Megan and Gershon and everybody that worked at the Northern Service, Master Control, Off Island, On Island Day, I'm proud to be a part of the Northern Service team.
325-5403, 325-5404, 325-5405. Those are the numbers here in Nassau. From the family of islands, it's a toll-free call, 1-242-300-8255. You want to send me a message to my Alive powered line, WhatsApp or text, it is 447-9879. Let me ask you about social media, because young people are
oh yeah,
addicted.
Glued to their phones.
Addicted.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad?
I think it's a 50-50. Social media, it depends on how you use it.
You're playing games. You're showing your naked body. You're up late in the night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
I see when I can't.
That ain't you?
That ain't me, no. But when it comes to social media, that's what people relied on during Hurricane Dorian.
Yes.
You know, so
yes.
I give it to social media for that. You know, that's where persons got that the jet skis were coming and where to go, and so social media was a very useful tool during the storm. So I've seen it at its worst, and Hurricane Dorian, social media was at its best.
When you make this movie, you got to use the real video. You can't reenact this.
No. I think with Hurricane Dorian, as far as movie, I'm looking at a docudrama. Docudrama, because it's stories have to be told. You know, not only for healing. You know, healing is one of the main things. You know, and I think the best way to depict Hurricane Dorian is through a docudrama, interviewing survivors. You know, Shashina has been doing a wonderful job of doing these survivor stories. You know, so that's what I'm looking towards, a docudrama.
Let's go to Whitfield on line 2. Hi, Whitfield. You're on Darold Miller Live. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Hi.
And good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Yes.
Turn him up.
Yes, Mr. Miller. The young lady, Shawnee, that's her name?
Shanae?
Shanae.
Yes, sir.
Go for gold, darling.
Thank you.
So Sydney started out as an actor.
Yes, sir.
She's now a writer and a producer and a director. The sky is the limit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Miller, another point. That young, that heptathlete, that's what you call her, from Canada. You with me, Mr. Miller?
Go ahead.
I can't pronounce the first name. Katarina Johnson Thompson. You know who that young lady is?
You tell me.
Let me tell you something. This is where I miss Phil Smith. God bless his soul. Phil Smith would go to the four corners of the world to discover Bahamian athletes. And you had Jonathan Benson and Chris Saunders, who trained under him. And I could hear him now today lecturing them to go and discover Bahamian athletes. Your fallen colleague, Ricky Thompson, you know that's his daughter, right?
Stop it.
That's his daughter. She won the gold medal for Canada in the heptathlon. That's his daughter. I think that's his only child.
Thank you very much.
That's where this is where I miss Phil Smith. God bless, like I say, God bless his soul.
Thank you very much.
That's Ricky T's daughter. Okay, Mr. Miller, have a good day.
Okay. They're watching us around the world. Pembroke Pines, Florida. They're watching us.
Great Britain.
325-5403, 325-5404. and 3-2. Could I get a little role in the movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
In the docudrama?
Yeah.
All what I want you to say is what I did say. The mud and pigeon pea.
Finish. that ain't a lie.
Gone. Send me a text or a WhatsApp to 444. It's not a joke. It's years of coverage, and the role of the true role of a broadcaster. It's not just to talk, but to conclude intelligently and eloquently, so that those who are in the line see this afternoon, they're going to be discussing this mandatory evacuation disaster bill is going to pass this afternoon. Only the Prime Minister speaking, and then it going to the Senate is going to become law. Where the police will have the power to mandatorily arrest you and evacuate you. And if we had evacuated earlier, I think more lives would have been saved.
That's true.
And so it takes a broadcaster to know, first of all, that the hurricane is coming, and don't take it lightly, and then announce those things, those protocols that need to be followed in times of disaster. 325-5403, 325-5404, and 325-5405 are the numbers here in Nassau. From the islands, it's a toll-free call, 1-242-300-8255. Shanae Strawn is our guest. She is from our Northern Services Division of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, and she has written this letter, video letter, to Tyler Perry. And to me, what's important is that the world is now looking and focusing on the Bahamas. There's this other message. While we're down, it's still better. And so many islands are still open for business. Let's go to Miss Knowles on line 1. Hello, you're on Darold Miller Live.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Hi.
First time caller.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm enjoying your show and your guest.
Thank you.
I'm going to switch your topic just a little bit here, please. I've been calling the people, them who cleans the drain. And I can't seem to get no service. You think you can help me in that situation, sir?
You in Nassau?
Yes, sir. Right in Flamingo Gardens. Yes, sir. Right by the Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church.
I can get a number for you to call. Stay listening. I can get. That's environmental health. Who would that be? Miss Knowles?
Yes, who claims the drain?
Have you ever called them before?
Yes, sir. I've been calling them from the hurricane that's going on.
What number you called?
Okay.
What department you called?
Civil engineering. They told me at one point that the truck then wasn't working. Then the next time they told me that the phone line wasn't working. All kind of excuses been given me. So I just tired. I'm tired. I am disabled. That's what I can say. I'm disabled.
You say you on where?
I'm in Flamingo Garden, right between the Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church to Darold Cash Primary School. Come straight down from the police station, take a right.
What the road name?
It was Banyan Avenue, I could call it.
Huh?
Banyan.
Banyan?
Yes. Street. Yeah.
You tried the Ministry of Works?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. The number that I have.
Keep calling, man.
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. You know what bothered me during the hurricane about Grand Bahama? People live on the canal. Well, what do you expect? If you live on the canal, sometimes you gotta pay for, I guess, your luxury. You won't be able to bring your boat right up to your front door or your back door. And so therefore, when the flooding occurs, you are flooded out. Because you right on the water, you right on the canal. What do you think about the waterway, the Grand Bahama waterway that really cuts the island in half?
What do I think about the water?
Yeah.
There's a lot to say. You know, I definitely think as far as Grand Bahama go, the dredging has to stop. The sake of the island depends on it. The dredging has to stop. Because, I mean, the flooding we experienced in Dorian, we've never experienced that. Areas that don't normally flood, you're talking Hudson Estate, and you're talking Heritage and Arden Forest. These are what we consider to be inland areas. You know, so I think that has to be a topic of conversation, that the dredging has to stop.
You can send me a message to 447-9879, and the numbers to call into Daryl Miller Live today, 447-9879. You call into 325-5403, 325-5404, and 325-5405. Those are the numbers here in Nassau. From the islands, it's a toll-free call, 1-242-300-8255. Mr. Miller, I took the time out and listened to that young lady's video on Facebook. It's on Facebook, too. It was well presented and professionally done. It made me so proud, and at the same time gave me goosebumps, because her talent was seen and felt. And of course, her being a Bahamian, I am sure Mr. Tyler Perry would give her that opportunity because of her talent, one, and two, because of her passion. Good morning, Daryl. Don't call my name, but oh wow, that's powerful indeed. Mentor that person to bring her vision to fruition. I am in agreement with you. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
You want to talk some other things in Grand Bahama?
Yes. The film industry. The Bahamas Film Studios. The Bahamas Film Studios once existed, and I have a dream that one day it'll be reopened. 3,500-acre film studio once existed on the missile base. That's where Disney would have filmed.
This is across from near Statoil down there where Oban gonna be?
No, not that.
Going toward the east?
Right into Gold Rock Creek. There used to be what was called the missile base. The Bahamas Film Studios, 3,500-acre film studio on the island of Grand Bahama. It was the vision of Paul Quigley, and he passed away in 2008. But I did my homework last night, and the film studio had a 16-foot deep marina. It had a 250,000 square foot staging area, an 8,000 foot long runway large enough to accommodate a 747 and a helicopter. And his dream was to make the film studio the production center of the world. That was his vision of the world on Grand Bahama. So I guess my passion burns so much for the film industry because we have such a rich film history. And film studios are essential in keeping the film industry going. So I think that's important for Grand Bahamians to know, that for investors to know that we do have that on Grand Bahama. And my dream one day is to see that reopened.
The name you mentioned is Quigley?
Paul Quigley.
And who was he?
He was one of the initial investors for the Bahamas Film Studio. Paul Quigley is his name. And
he's passed?
He's passed in 2008, and his plan was to make the studio the most complete and efficient production center in the world, right on Grand Bahama. What he did is he signed a 7-year lease to build a $76 million film studio, and that was the Bahamas Film Studios. And he did pass away, but what really stood out to me is his partner said, "It was Paul's dream to create an indigenous film industry in the Bahamas. It is my hope that some creative-driven soul will step forward to keep the dream to fruition."
Where can people find your video?
People can find my video on YouTube. Just type in Dare Tyler Perry, Shanae Strawn. They can find it on my website, shanaestrawn.com. They can find it on Facebook. If you look up Dare Tyler Perry, it'll come up. It's on the Northern Services page. It's on my personal page and other news pages as well.
3255403, 3255404, and 3255405 are the numbers here in Nassau. From the family of islands, it's toll free. McAlpine, ain't you a member of Parliament?
The Honorable Peter Turnquest is my MP.
What McAlpine running on with now?
Some stuff that a lot of people ain't agreeing with.
You want to talk about that?
No, I don't discuss politics.
This ain't politics. The same sex he talking about.
Oh, wow.
You saw that part?
I didn't.
Well, suffice it to say, the pastors are now beginning to organize. Oh, this can get juicy. I ain't sure you want to be a part of this.
Yeah, let me stick it up.
You ain't come to talk about this.
Yeah.
The pastors nationwide are now coming together to stage an anti-gay rally or anti-same-sex rally because Pastor Frederick McAlpine has suggested in his liberalism that it's time, you ain't want to get in this, that it's time for us to have a public debate on not only same-sex marriage, but abortion. He gone deep there. Don't say nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with you. You here to talk about making film, although you might have to make a film on that. This is Darold Miller Live. We'll be back right after these messages.
Looking for that hard-to-find windshield for your Japanese car? Well, look no further. Island Windshield stocks the largest selection of windshields for Japanese and American cars. They offer professional installation and auto tinting. Family Island orders are welcome. They deliver to the mailboat too. Island Windshield has a large selection of Honda parts for all makes and models. Credit card orders are welcome. Island Windshield, now serving you in 2 convenient locations. Wolf Road opposite AID, call 394-8018. And Carmichael Road, just west of the Southwest Plaza, call 341-4120. Island Windshield.
Summer is over, but the Primo offers are still hot at Marco's Pizza. We're fueling your taste buds this semester with our new carry-out deal. Let us handle your hunger. Order 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for $8.99 each, or 1 large, 1-topping pizza for $10.99. Our keys to success are fresh dough, original sauce, and 3 signature cheeses. Stay Primo and ditch the dry dough. Rule the semester with the Primo way only at Marco's. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you 1 monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me! What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
Miss Fidelity, you really need it. Well, do I sign?
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by Radio Bahamas and by extension the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to Darold Miller Live here on the ZNS Radio and the television networks. Shanae Strawn is sitting with us for a few more minutes. You got to get that flight back to Grand Bahama.
Yeah.
You don't know Nassau that well, do you?
No. My GPS has been helping me pretty good. So this is my first time driving in Nassau as well. Because people being Grand Bahamians always scared to drive in Nassau. And I was like, you know what, Mommy, I can rent a car and drive in Nassau.
Have you heard any stories of the evacuees who are living here in New Providence and now want to return home? Particularly the Aberconians. Could you imagine what that is like? You lost your home and you are living in a city that you don't know. Yeah. You're in a shelter. All of this is part of this visual storytelling.
Yeah, we're all affected. You know, Hurricane Dorian may have physically hit Grand Bahama and Abaco, but it shifted the whole of the Bahamas. You know, but I definitely sympathize with what the evacuees are feeling to be in an unfamiliar place, and I just I guess make a call for people to just extend compassion, because you see so much things on social media. Why are they having job fairs for evacuees? And it's just like extend compassion during this time, you know.
325-5403, 325-5404, and 325-5405. Those are the numbers here in Nassau. From the family of islands, from Grand Bahama, from Abaco, it's a toll-free call, 1-242-300-8255. As you prepare to leave us, when you write this docudrama, not a documentary, docudrama, it's like a real life film. What will be the starting point, or what will be the overarching point? The resiliency that you talk about, preparedness, bouncing back. What will be your overriding mantra?
The focus definitely is the resilience. The focus is the recovery. You know, you want to highlight person's story, but you also want to give hope, you know. So the focus really is going to be the restoration, the road to recovery, the resilience. Hurricane Dorian, the road to recovery, and that's what it'll be called. So the focus is the hope, the vision now, the move forward, how we're going to bounce back and rebuild, but also sharing what happened and the stories of persons that were affected.
Okay, I'm going to throw out some other things for our audience to participate in. You're going to remain with us for a few more minutes, and but I wanted to hear Grand Bahama's views on your. I'm going to call him now a. Better be careful how I call him. I'm going to call him a renegade member of Parliament.
Okay.
Pastor Frederick McElpine. You be quiet. I'm going to call him a renegade member of Parliament. That's the member for Pine Ridge.
McElpine, I think he's...
It's the member of Parliament for Pine Ridge. Pine Ridge? Or that's Michael Pintad?
Michael Pintad is Marco City.
Marco City. So, Frederick McElpine.
Pine Ridge MP.
Is Pine Ridge. If you have a comment on what he has to say and what he has stirred at this time, you can call me at 325-5403, 325-5403. Someone says, did you write to Oprah?
Did I write to Oprah? I didn't. I should. I will. But persons have tagged Oprah Winfrey Network and OWN. But I did look into resources of Oprah.
You know Oprah's story?
Yes, I do, very much so. I know Oprah's story.
Real good?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
If I say syndicated?
Talk show host.
But syndicated? There is no syndicated talk show in the Bahamas. You ain't following me.
Run that back, Mr. Miller.
When you are syndicated, A, you own the show, and B, multiple stations carry the show. There was a time when, whether you turn to ABC or NBC or CBS, whatever network you turn to, Oprah was on. She was carried on multiple stations at the same time. There is no show like that in the Bahamas. Your ZNS, well, ZNS is perhaps the closest. Our shows are probably, Darold Miller Live is probably the closest to it, because we are carried live in the Turks and Caicos simultaneously. That was an agreement that the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas and the television providers in the Turks and Caicos struck. And so we are live now. You are live in Turks and Caicos as a result of PTV and WIV. But there are no other radio stations that are carrying this. And the door is opening for that to happen. You might know of Splash FM in Spanish Wells. It's a private radio station in Spanish Wells. Well, nothing prohibits him, if we cut the deal, to carry a ZNS program or Darold Miller Live. A former colleague of ours, George Harris, has a radio station in Inagua. Nothing prohibits him. I think he carries some of the ZNS programs. You may be familiar with Dwight Hart, who is in Exuma with the Breeze FM in Exuma. Nothing prohibits him, other than we cutting the deal, to have network allied syndicated shows, meaning shows on or broadcasts on more than just one station. It'll be on multiple stations. And that was Oprah's
advantage.
Yeah. Whenever you turn, wherever you turn, Oprah Winfrey was on. So it's a good idea.
It is, and I think we are definitely on our way towards that. And content creation is key, with creating shows that that makes us diverse to multiple markets.
Okay, we got 10 minutes if you want to talk about Frederick McAlpine, and then at noon, we're going to have the grandson of the founder of Pan Am.
The missile-based Pan Am? No.
Now, I talking Elutra.
Okay.
You still talking Grand Bahama.
I still talking
but Pan Am is Pan Am.
Oh, yeah.
Von Tripp is Von Tripp. But he, like many millionaires, they have second homes in the Bahamas. Tyler Perry has one. I don't know if Oprah have one. She might have one in Turks and Caicos. But Von Tripp, the founder of Pan Am, had one years ago in Elutra. And his grandson is going to be here to talk about what they're doing to assist us at this time. Mike Roll is on the line. You know him?
No. No, sir.
He is the person who painted on the Borco oil tanks in Freeport. You know those beautiful artworks on the Borco tanks when you're leaving the harbor?
Going to the harbor, yeah.
Yeah, that's Mike Roll. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike.
And good morning to your beautiful guest.
Hi.
Yeah, she is very intelligent, and I wish her the best, and I just hope her dream come true, because if her dreams come true, it'll come true for all of us.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that support.
Okay, Darold.
Yes.
I was in Nassau about 2 weeks ago, and I drove through Nassau and looking at those tiny roads, and I had the Hurricane Dorian in mind as I drive through Nassau. And I said to myself, if a Category 5 hurricane, God forbid, would have hit Nassau, where would you evacuate to? Do you have any idea, Mr. Miller?
Well, I mean, we have some superstructures here. The gymnasium is one of them that is being used as a shelter. We have some very strong buildings built back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. You probably know of the strength of our forts.
Yes.
But what the government is doing now, and you're going to hear more about this afternoon when the Prime Minister speaks, there will be these superdome structures.
Okay.
That will be used as super shelters in situations like the one you talk about.
Very good. I hope those superdomes can float.
What's that? I missed that.
I hope those superdomes can float because with the amount of water that the Category 5 hurricane will bring. Can you hear me?
They have to be positioned properly on risings. Like you know, Fort Charlotte.
Yeah.
While it is close to the waterfront, it enjoys some elevation.
Okay.
The gymnasium, on the other hand, does not enjoy the elevation. And so, in doing these structures, these superstructures, these superdomes, you gotta really be considering this from an architectural point of view and from a topological point of view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just wrap up right real quick. Marco Pine, he has just entered very deep water. And I think he should start swimming back to shore real quickly. Hello?
You said McAlpine has entered some very deep waters.
Yeah. And I don't think he should go there.
He shouldn't go there.
That's right. He should not go there. And he's going to lose, for the little people that have some kind of love for him, he's going to lose a lot of respect.
The timing is bad?
It isn't just the timing. The topic itself is bad. He has gone into Sodom and Gomorrah. He shouldn't be there.
He's doing what?
He's gone biblical. He's gone into Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, now.
Okay. All right. Give me your last 5 cents.
My last 5 cents. I just want to say thank you just to everybody that
you remind me of when I was in Freeport and we hooked up. Remind me of that again, because I must have been. Mm-hmm. Was that for Sire's funeral?
No, it was Ellie's groundbreaking ceremony. I worked the video, the live stream. I was the camera woman behind the camera for Ellie's groundbreaking ceremony. So that's what that was. But we ate at Sire's.
So Sire's was still alive?
No, Sire's had already passed, and now that was my godfather also.
Sire's?
Yeah, Jessup Johnson. He was my godfather.
Man, great man.
Amazing.
Great man.
Yeah.
Mike Edwards ensured that I was there for the funeral. And it wasn't a funeral, it was like a homegoing.
Celebration of life.
Yeah. So what did we talk about at Sire's?
Why did we talk about at Sire's? What did we tell Mr. Miller? You gotta jog my memory.
It must have been something to do with media.
Yeah.
You must have been telling me how you want to go forward in media. I don't know why you gravitated to me. I can tell you this much though. In terms of news, I've mentored some people. And I've trained some people who are grateful for the impact that I was able to make on them. On the other hand, if you're coming with the video background that I don't have,
Content creation, that's my passion.
you would do well with a Darren, with a Colin, bless his soul, with a Julian Anderson role and others in the Broadcasting Corporation. So, don't lose your dream.
No. I won't. This is God's vision. I'm just a vessel. So, I will not lose it.
And 20 years from now, when you get middle age,
48 years old. 48 years. 48 years old.
what do you see?
I see the Grand Bahama. I see Grand Bahama just booming, flourishing. I see just the island just being restored. I see flights at the airport lined up, flights and cruise ships at the harbor and tourists around, and I see a new bazaar. I see the film studio opened. I see vision. I see vision. I see myself being a pioneer in that industry, in film and in television. I just see it all.
And the video letter can be found where?
It can be found on YouTube if you type in Dare Tyler Perry, Shanae Strawn, or if you go to my website, ShanaeStrawn.com, SHANEA, Strawn. You can find it on there. I created a page solely for Dare Tyler Perry on my website, and it's on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, Shanae Strawn, and you can find it there.
Okay, thank you very, very, very much for reaching out to us. Give our thanks to your Northern Services Deputy General Manager, Darren Meadows, and we wish you all the best.
Awesome, thank you.
Now, let me tell you something. Tyler don't have to respond. Oprah don't have to respond. You have responded.
That's true. Now it's time to work.
Now it's time to work.
It's time to create. It's time
to create.
Now it's time to work.
To write.
To
produce.
To shoot.
To direct. To shoot.
Yeah. Now it's time. I can't wait. I just got to keep going. And that's key. And hopefully others will join in with me, because we need unity.
You got to stop by the Vine Cafe before you take that Western Air flight back now. I don't know how you can do it. You got to.
I'll
get
try.
some good old okra soup today.
Oh, wow.
That's at 1 o'clock. Can't miss
The
that.
Vine Cafe. I'll write that down.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is Darold Miller Live. We'll be back right after the news break.
With so many choices on our lunch menu, no wonder why so many people are choosing Sunrise Cafe for lunch. Maybe it's our stuffed snapper, or pork chops, or it may even be our baked chicken, all served with pasta, fettuccine, roasted potatoes, and garlic bread. That's why Sunrise Cafe customers keep coming back again and again. Soups, salads, sandwiches, and treats. Sunrise Cafe on Arundel Street. And for phone orders, dial 323-3501.
Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, your national voice. It's 12 o'clock. It's time for news over the Bahamas Radio Network.
Zephyr, giving birth to ZNS Radio Bahamas, taking the news to the nation and the nation to the world.
Good afternoon. I'm Opal Roach with your headlines and weather at noon. Corey Smith is at the controls, topping the news. New legal developments with the Frank Smith matter as prosecutors have applied for leave to appeal to the Privy Council. Smith was acquitted of bribery and extortion following a no-case submission, which prompted the Crown to appeal. In a recent ruling, the appellate court dismissed the Crown's appeal after determining that it was unsustainable. The Crown is now trying to take its fight to the Privy Council. Well, former Urban Renewal Director Michelle Brackley and 4 other defendants were rearraigned in the magistrate's court on amended money laundering charges. This is connected to more than $1 million in the Small Homes Repair Program on Grand Bahama. And the nation's leader is expected to wrap up debate on the disaster bill when Parliament resumes this afternoon. The legislation paves the way for mandatory evacuations ahead of a storm. Stay close. The Check on Your Forecast is up next.
Looking for that hard-to-find windshield for your Japanese car? Well, look no further. Island Windshield stocks the largest selection of windshields for Japanese and American cars. They offer professional installation and auto tinting. Family Island orders are welcome. They deliver to the mailboat too. Island Windshield has a large selection of Honda parts for all makes and models. Credit card orders are welcome. Island Windshield, now serving you in 2 convenient locations. Wolf Road opposite AID, call 394-8018. And Carmichael Road, just west of the Southwest Plaza, call 341-4120. Island Windshield. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Research shows that the better quality tires you have on your vehicle, the less gas you actually consume. With the cost of gas climbing ever higher, it makes good common sense to invest in the top performer of tires available, Michelin tires. Michelin leads the industry in fuel-efficient tires that deliver top performance, long-lasting durability, and a guaranteed quiet, smooth ride. Make Michelin your choice. Your gas tank and your wallet will thank you. Drive into Tire Flex Star Motors on Wolf Road and pick up a set of Michelins today.
In the forecast for all areas, weather partly hot and humid with isolated showers and a few possible thunderstorms. You can expect gusty winds and higher seas. Seas are 3 feet or less, and the high temperature 91 degrees with an overnight low of 77. And that's your headlines and weather at noon. For Corey Smith at the controls, I'm Opal Roach. Good afternoon.
You're listening to news highlights and weather to the hour over the Bahamas Radio Network. This is Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, your national voice. It's 4 minutes gone by 12.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me! What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
That's right, LD. You ain't hear me. Well, do I sign?
Summer is over, but the Primo offers are still hot at Marco's Pizza. We're fueling your taste buds this semester with our new carry-out deal. Let us handle your hunger. Order 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for $8.99 each, or 1 large, 1-topping pizza for $10.99. Our keys to success are fresh dough, original sauce, and 3 signature cheeses. Stay Primo and ditch the dry dough. Rule the semester with the Primo way only at Marco's. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
The Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute offers students more than just a place to learn about agriculture. BAMSI offers associate degree programs in marine science, aquaculture, environmental science, and agribusiness. At BAMSI, we also provide an array of professional development courses and support for technical and innovative skills. Whether it's a 2-year, 6-month, or 1-week course, BAMSI can help you achieve your goals. Call our campus today at 242-329-1700. The Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute offers students more than just a place to learn about agriculture. BAMSI offers associate degree programs in marine science, aquaculture, environmental science, and agribusiness. At BAMSI, we also provide an array of professional development courses and support for technical and innovative skills. Whether it's a 2-year, 6-month, or 1-week course, BAMSI can help you achieve your goals. Call our campus today at 242-329-1700.
Summer is over, but the Primo offers are still hot at Marco's Pizza. We're fueling your taste buds this semester with our new carry-out deal. Let us handle your hunger. Order 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for $8.99 each, or 1 large, 1-topping pizza for $10.99. Our keys to success are fresh dough, original sauce, and 3 signature cheeses. Stay Primo and ditch the dry dough. Rule the semester with the Primo way only at Marco's. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me! What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
That's right, LD. You ain't hear me. Well, do I sign?
Let go and ring the bell. Let go and ring the bell. Let it go. Let go and ring the bell. Let go and ring the bell. Let it go. You've been abused and misused. They call you this and that. But in your heart, there's a little bell. It's been there from the start. So ring those bells that still can ring. You'll find the perfect thing. Let go and ring a love bell. Let it go and ring love bell. Let go and ring a love bell. Let it go and ring a love bell. Oh yeah. Let it go and ring a love Show more love, brighter than the day. Let it shine before it's too late. Love is the key to the world. Listen up, you boys and girls. Free yourself from doubt and fear. Put some love in there. Let your burdens and all your sorrows, like you breathe through a finger, slip away. Love bells ringing, don't you stop singing. What's the perfect thing in your life? There's a crack in everything. That's how the love light shines in. Let go and ring your love bell. Let it go and ring your love bell. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Lord, Lord, Lord. Let it go. Let it go. Ring those love bells. Ring those love. Talk about show more love, brighter than the day. Let it shine before it's too late. Love is the key to the world. Listen up, you boys and girls. Free yourself from doubt and fear. Put some love in there. Let go and ring your love bell. Let it go. Let go and ring your love bell. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Ring your bell. Ring your bell. Inabo demani. Let go and ring your bell. And run for love. Long Island and go. Ring your bell. Ring your bell. Let your bell ring. Let it ring. Let it ring. Let it ring. All over the world. Let your love bell ring. Let your love bell ring. Let your love bell ring.
Welcome back to Darold Miller Live here on the ZNS Radio and the television networks. We want to mention Maternal Treasures Parent Care Center. This is a center in Fox Hill on Bernard Road and Grant Street that emphasizes childbirth, breastfeeding, maternal treasures. They are involved in pregnancy testing. They have the support groups for preconception and pregnancy counseling, lactation counseling. And I saying all these things, and Felicity Ingram is here. I hope you went to Maternal Treasures. You now Tynesy.
Darville.
Darville. Felicity Ingram Darville.
Right.
Is with us. Now, you know about this because you got the baby in your hand.
And she's a breastfed baby. So.
And a breastfed baby?
Yes.
Okay. Maternal Treasures Parent Care Center is the place you can get more information on stress, non-stress testing and baby bonding and grief support. 324-3191 is the number for you to call. 324-3191. We are talking about Maternal Treasures Parent Care Center. Don't let your labor meet you unprepared. So you can check them out for these childbirth classes how to pack for the hospital, techniques on how to be comfortable, information on C-section and breastfeeding and medical procedures. Call today, 324-3191. They also have the Facebook page, Maternal Treasures Parent Care Center. We are so pleased to be joined now by Felicity Ingram Darville, who will introduce our very special guest.
Okay.
First of all, you got a newborn.
Yes, baby Victory.
Okay. You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. For those who don't know, your father, Alan Ingram,
yes,
played for the Washington Redskins.
That's correct.
In 1973.
Ah.
Yes.
That's independence here.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't born then.
No, and that's the same year that my mother became Miss Bahamas, Agatha Watson.
Oh!
So they had two significant things going on during the year of independence, 4 years before I came along.
Ah! No wonder why you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And who is this youngster with you?
This is Victory, and she's 6 months old in another 2 days.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are here to introduce a very special guest.
Yes. And his name is Mr. William Doug Douglas. So, and he's affectionately called Doug. And he's basically an honorary Bahamian, because although he wasn't born here, he has been coming here all of his life since he was a child. And he's really just in every way a part of the Bahamian culture as any one of us. And I had the privilege of meeting him through my father. And we share our love for our Eleuthera roots. Of course, the Ingrams are from Topham Bay and Palmetto Point.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug's home is in Wims's Bight, is that correct? In Wims's Bight. And when I met Doug, he was doing wonderful things for the kids in Wims's Bight. He's setting up basketball courts and recreational facilities for the kids. And since I've known him, he's delivered hundreds of pairs of tennis to the kids and encouraged them to know that they can be anything they want to be, using our fireman Chris Brown as an example. And Chris Brown's family is very close to Doug's family, and the success that he has had making it all the way to the world stage as an Olympian, coming from the humble settlement of Wims's Bight, is really an inspiration for not only Eleuthera children, but all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I brought Doug to you today, Darold, because I know you're continuing to talk about the after effects of Hurricane Dorian. And Doug participated in the hurricane relief efforts by way of evacuating people out of Marsh Harbor. So I wanted him to come and tell you about that today, and also that some of them actually stayed with him at his home in Florida.
Great. You have a second home then, Doug, in Eleuthera.
I do.
In Wims's Bight.
Well, it's in the original Cotton Bay Club, which was founded in 1960 when Mr. Tripp, my grandfather, who you introduced earlier in the show today, was the founder of Pan American Airways. And he had a vision that Florida was becoming overcrowded and that the Bahamas was the most beautiful place on the planet. Of course, he had the opportunity to travel all over the world. And he fell in love with the Bahamian people and its culture, and he fell in love with the beauty of your land.
Cotton Bay, did you say?
So the Cotton Bay Club was started by him in 1960. There was a gentleman named Arthur Vining Davis who had purchased vast tracts of land from Windermere Island down to the south, to the southern tip. And Mr. Tripp built the Power and Light Company in Rock Sound. He built the airport. He built the Preston Arbery High School. He built the marketplace.
He had a lot of money, eh?
Well, he had a lot of friends.
Okay.
And the Robert Trent Jones golf course at the Cotton Bay Club was considered to be the best golf course in all of the Caribbean. And it was played on by Arnold Palmer and Tom Watson. And the golf pros there were Sean O'Connor and Ralph Hutchison. Sean O'Connor was a famous Irish golfer. And Carrington Butler was the number 3 pro. He was from South Eleuthera, and Carrington ended up being the senior pro at the Ocean Club in Paradise Island.
You weren't born then, were you?
I was born in 1962.
So right around the time of this.
Yep. So I got to witness and lived with my grandparents quite a bit, and I got to see the openings of many of these different facilities there. And I got to go see the power plants when they were built, which brought the first electricity and running water to South Eleuthera. And it was a period of great prosperity and hope for South Eleuthera at the time.
Yeah, when you talk about Cotton Bay, I think Carlos Sarmiento have something to do with it now.
Well, in Mr. Tripp died in 1981, and then the shareholders of South Eleuthera Properties sold to Franklin Wilson and to Albert Sands South Eleuthera Properties, which became Eleuthera Properties. And then they subsequently sold the golf course and the hotel at Cotton Bay to Luis Carlos Sarmiento. Now, 30 years ago, we were expecting Dr. Sarmiento to build a 6-star hotel and refurbish the golf course.
He ain't do nothing.
Well, it takes 2 to tango. And so I told Sir Franklin the other day that I think he made a mistake and that he should have embraced Dr. Sarmiento. And I believe that had we not had 2 stubborn people involved in the room at the same time, that South Eleuthera would be prosperous today. But I'm very, very optimistic that Dr. Sarmiento will build. I'm very optimistic about it. And I think that the government needs to expedite that. He has the money. He's always had the money. And I think it'll mean meaningful jobs and be the biggest headline that hits Eleuthera since my grandfather first went there in the 60s.
Tell me now about your involvement with the hurricane. So the hurricane is coming.
So the hurricane's coming. I'm up in Long Island in New York, and I see it's coming, and I'm an accomplished world-class sailor, and I have a lot of friends with good weather forecasting models, and I can see this thing is coming on hard. And so I left my house on Labor Day. It was a holiday, and I positioned myself to get to Washington, D.C. in an attempt to go visit with the President of the United States to tell him that this was going to be a big crisis and that we in the U.S.
You went to who?
To the White House. I was trying.
You went to Trump?
I went close to Trump. I was in the Trump Hotel. And
you know Trump?
I do know Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying to get close to the president that day to tell him that we had a great opportunity to help the Bahamian people in a way that would be beneficial to both the Bahamas and to the United States of America. And so September 5th, the day that I was in D.C., was a little bit of a crazy day, and I wasn't able to get up to the White House, to the Oval Office, but I got down to Florida, and on September 6th, we brought in the first airplanes into Marsh Harbor, and we were one of the first groups of planes that were scouting the runways and the inlets from the Foxtown all the way down to the southern tip of Abaco. And I had only been to the Abacos once 10 years ago to look at Baker's Bay and see if I could understand why it might be successful. And because I was curious to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say I was skeptical at the time. But Mike Meldman and Baker's Bay, they sold a lot of houses for a lot of money. And the devastation that I met when I arrived in Marsh Harbor on September 6th was overwhelming. And that day,
you had your own plane?
That day I had a G5 in the air. That's a big plane. And I had a Hawker 800 in the air, and I had a King Air 350. And that day we rescued 19 different people out of Marsh Harbor.
Wow.
That wanted to get out.
Now, that was the Thursday?
That was Friday, September 6th.
Friday.
And
the hurricane had just passed.
Yeah, the storm.
By about a day or two, because it was just sitting there.
Yeah, so there was still water on the runway the day before in Marsh Harbor. We had sent scouting planes to see what the runways looked like, and we also sent captains on the planes to analyze the inlets to see if Sea Corps could get in with their container ships. And we were bringing medics with us and supplies, and we would unload those medics and supplies, and then we would put up onto the plane the people that we were rescuing. So that day I took 19...
You took these people where?
Well, the 19 of the people that I rescued on that Friday, the 6th of September, I took them into the United States of America.
They wanted to go there?
They wanted to go there.
Now,
and so
these are Abaconians who I imagine have pre-existing relationships and family in Florida.
The majority did, not all did. We ended up putting some people in hotels for a day or two, but over a course of days, we had people housing them in their house. I had a woman and her grandson stay at my house for about 5 days. I thought it was...
Where you live?
In Delray Beach, in a town called Gulfstream, which is south of Palm Beach but north of Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of the last 7 weeks, I've had a number of different Bahamian families staying at our house there. And we were dealing...
White and black?
Black.
Yeah.
Black.
I asked that because, you know the dichotomy of the Abacos.
Well, there were... I have photos and passports of all the different people we rescued. By the 16th of September, I had rescued 67 people on planes that I was paying for.
Wow.
Now, some of them were white school teachers that were in Treasure Key, and there was a young black family from Cooperstown that I rescued. And then I even rescued a dog, and the dog's name is Dorian. Her nickname was Dory, and we brought in 200 tetanus vaccinations. We work closely with...
What's the name of your organization, or you do this as an individual?
I do this as an individual. So I don't get paid by anybody. I don't represent anybody.
You do this out of the goodness of your heart?
I do this out of the goodness of my heart.
You're a rich man, Doug. Are you?
No, I'm a generous man. I'm a generous man. And in Eleuthera, I hope some of my friends in Eleuthera are listening. So my babysitter and still taking care of me today is Miss Nola Brown. Nola, I hope you're listening. That is the mother of Chris Brown, the Golden Knight.
Ah.
And
I met her that was in Deep Creek, eh?
In Wims's Bight.
Yeah.
And when the Golden Knights won the gold medal in London, Nola and her 3 daughters went to see Chris win that gold medal, and they stayed with my sister in England. And that was the most exciting thing that's ever happened. I mean, I've never been to an Olympics, and I'm pins and needles watching it from my office in Connecticut. And there was Nola and Chris's three sisters, seeing him and the teammates win that gold medal. And that was something to see, I was told by people that were there.
You seem to be a very proud American.
I'm a very proud American, but I also spent a significant amount of my time in the one consistent house that I've lived in since I was born is in Eleuthera. And so my heart and soul is a lot in the Bahamian Islands and particularly in the south end of Eleuthera.
How did you make your money?
I started an investment company 25 years ago that was quite successful. We managed money around the world. We had offices in Tokyo, Hong Kong, Sydney, Australia, London, New York. I had 140 employees, and I started the company out of my basement. And we sold the company not once but twice. The final resting spot was with Franklin Templeton, who has their offices here.
Oh, Lightfoot Key, big time.
Well, I'm not a member at Lightfoot Key, and I've never asked to join Lightfoot Key. But again, I'm an out island boy, I say.
Yeah.
And I
so you walk around what, barefoot when you're on the islands?
Well, you know, you're a little bit older than some of these youngsters that I've been hanging with. But I used to drink standard rum, and I used to drink that rum because it was a particular rum for particular people. And, of course, I would go up to Flo Morley's place in Tarpon Bay, and I learned to scuba dive with Captain Mack. Captain Mack got in a little bit of trouble in those 80s and ended up in Fox Hill. But I was a child taking people out into the settlements, and I influenced people there. So Chris Maxey, hope you're listening, Chris, founder of the Island School, which has done so much in Eleuthera for both the local community with its Deep Creek Middle School and its program of sustainable development at the school. Chris and his family arrived there in 1981. He was at Yale, I was at Vanderbilt, and I took them outside of Cotton Bay. I said, okay, I'm taking you to Greencastle, to the Disco 9000. I'm taking you up to Rock Sound, and I'm taking you to Tarpon Bay, and I'll take you up to Governor's Harbor, and I'll show you what Eleuthera is really all about. And then, of course, I took him to all the secret beaches like Miller's Beach. That's not named after you, is it?
It very well may be.
So Miller's Beach is just near Bannerman Town and Lighthouse Beach.
That's that's just before Bannerman Town.
Just before.
Yeah.
And I have a race sailboat called Goombay Smash, and I have a fishing boat that's called Conquijo. And the people really like my fishing boat called Conquijo. So I'm very much at home in the Bahamas. I know all the slang. You can start testing.
When I ask you if you know two people, Charlie Strachan. Ever heard of him?
No.
Anis Antrobus. Savannah Sound. Ever heard of her?
No. So I know John Norris Carey, Giant as he's known, who has built well over 100 houses in Eleuthera and has been a mentor to so many young men in Eleuthera who's from Tarpon Bay. George Edwards, who is working on another house I just purchased in Cotton Bay that he's fixing. George used to run all of the operations. Ron Horton, who worked for Pan American, who also ran the airport in Rock Sound, who runs the Kiwanis today, is a close friend. And so I have many, many friends in Eleuthera that I care about.
According to Felicity Ingram Diabil, you want Bahamians to know That what? There are opportunities in the United States?
No, what I see is a need for the Bahamians to have the courage in a country that's independent and proud, the courage to say, I need your help to the United States of America. So for your politicians to say, hey, I need your help in rebuilding this country, because we're going to rebuild it bigger and better than it was, and we can't do it on our own. And I am convinced that U.S. companies are keen to come work here, teach their trade to Bahamians that are here, and if you do proper development, you can make the Bahamas better than it has ever been. My grandfather was a visionary in that he believed that the Bahamas was a beautiful, religious country close to the U.S., and because it's so close to the U.S., there's no reason why there aren't more people coming here, having second homes, as you point out. When you build homes here, that creates density of people visiting. It creates a tremendous amount of opportunity for duty and VAT. It provides a tremendous opportunity for U.S. companies to sell the supplies that need to come here, whether it's roofing materials or windows or appliances or automobiles. And if the U.S. was to offer temporary work visas to Bahamians and temporary humanitarian visas to Bahamians, that would allow the U.S. companies the time and relieve the burden of those that have been displaced. You, earlier in your show today, talked about how many people are in shelter, or how many people are not at their homes because they don't have a home to go to.
Right.
And I've heard stories of 14, 15 people in a two-bedroom house here. And while the official NEMA number may say that there's 1,700 people that are in shelter and or somewhere, the number is considerably greater. In Freeport, you may be familiar with Mr. Alan Ingram, the Redskins 1973
Felicity's
recruit.
daddy.
Felicity's dad. Well, he spends half his time in Freeport and half his time in Lynchburg, Virginia. Well, he's lucky because he only had 6 feet of water in his house. He still has a roof. He still has windows. But he's got some serious repair work to do to his house. But he hasn't even done it. He's been there for 2 weeks. I dropped him off 2 weeks ago. And he's helping others that are in greater need. So the need is tremendous. And if the U.S. were to provide the temporary work visas and the temporary humanitarian visas, I believe that it wouldn't cost the federal government of the United States of America a penny. I think I can find sponsors for everybody that needs a roof over their head. And when it's time to come back, then come back.
And you don't want anything?
I don't want anything. I have no business interest here. I have no aspirations of business interests here. I'm like white as snow.
Are you married?
I'm married. I have a beautiful wife. I have 2 children that are 25 and 27. And I know that they love the Bahamas because they've been coming here also their whole lives.
What makes you go? What makes you go?
Well, I was taught by Mr. Tripp that let nobody tell you you can't do something if you put your mind to it. And so I learned on from an early age that if you roll up your sleeves and you work hard, you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. And so my message as an entrepreneur to young people here in the Bahamas, that if you work hard, and you are persistent, you can succeed in ways that you have no idea. But if you allow yourself to have fear of failing, then you probably won't succeed in the ways that you could to maximize your own potential.
So you got to go, Felicity. Let me say this before you go. Okay. I hear him saying that fear is a great monster that destroys men and women alike. So we must learn how to rid ourselves of fear so that we can take our rightful places on this earth that the omnipotent only lendeth to us, but for a season.
That's right.
Thank you. Felicity gotta go. You stay.
Thank you, Felicity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You like that piece, but fair?
Yeah.
All right. This is Darold Miller Live by Felicity. See you at Divine Cafe for Hookah Soup. We'll be back right after these messages.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me! What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
Miss Fidelity, you ain't hear me. Well, do I sign?
Summer is over, but the Primo offers are still hot at Marco's Pizza. We're fueling your taste buds this semester with our new carry-out deal. Let us handle your hunger. Order 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for $8.99 each, or 1 large, 1-topping pizza for $10.99. Our keys to success are fresh dough, original sauce, and 3 signature cheeses. Stay Primo and ditch the dry dough. Rule the semester with the Primo way only at Marco's. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
The Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute offers students more than just a place to learn about agriculture. BAMSI offers associate degree programs in marine science, aquaculture, environmental science, and agribusiness. At BAMSI, we also provide an array of professional development courses and support for technical and innovative skills. Whether it's a 2-year, 6-month, or 1-week course, BAMSI can help you achieve your goals. Call our campus today at 242-329-1700. The Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute offers students more than just a place to learn about agriculture. BAMSI offers associate degree programs in marine science, aquaculture, environmental science, and agribusiness. At BAMSI, we also provide an array of professional development courses and support for technical and innovative skills. Whether it's a 2-year, 6-month, or 1-week course, BAMSI can help you achieve your goals. Call our campus today at 242-329-1700.
Summer is over, but the Primo offers are still hot at Marco's Pizza. We're fueling your taste buds this semester with our new carry-out deal. Let us handle your hunger. Order 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for $8.99 each, or 1 large, 1-topping pizza for $10.99. Our keys to success are fresh dough, original sauce, and 3 signature cheeses. Stay Primo and ditch the dry dough. Rule the semester with the Primo way only at Marco's. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with their debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me. What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
That's right, LD. You ain't hear me. Where do I sign?
Welcome back to Darold Miller Live here on the ZNS Radio and the television networks. Our very special guest in this segment is Mr. William Douglas, who is the grandson of One Trip, the founder of Pan American Airlines. And Mr. Douglas is a second home owner here in the Bahamas, and Eleuthera in particular, and he has lent his personal resources to assist in the hurricane recovery efforts, airlifting out of Marsh Harbor, persons who, in this case, went to the United States. He knows, well, you say you don't know Trump.
No, Mr. Trump knows me. I've met Mr. Trump, and over the course of the last 7 weeks, I've been debriefing Senator Rubio's staff and Senator Scott's staff, and I'm close to Governor DeSantis, and so I have a lot of connections with Washington.
And the bottom line is, you say many, many Americans with deep pockets are willing to assist the Bahamas.
And have been doing so.
Have been doing so.
If the overwhelming amount of generosity that was mobilized quickly from individuals around the country, and particularly Florida, was overwhelming. And the hangars still in South Florida have more supplies in them ready to be delivered here than can be stored. So there's a bottleneck of stuff waiting to come here. And
what's holding it up?
Well, what's holding it up is they're moving it in as quickly as they can.
Mm-hmm.
And in some instances, I would tell you that there are probably too many diapers. Probably enough diapers.
Too many layers?
Too many diapers have been delivered. People didn't know exactly what to deliver. You
mean the physical diaper for children?
Yeah, I mean that Felicity's baby could have diapers for the next 20 years. Hopefully the baby Victory will be out of diapers soon. But there is a need. I made a point recently when I was on Juan McCartney's show a couple weeks ago. I said, we need specific lists of what's needed where.
Building materials to rebuild the houses.
Right, but what building materials? And
plywood.
Yeah, but you need to know.
2x4.
Yeah, but
nail.
Yeah,
shingle.
Yeah.
Cement.
Yeah.
Tile. Joint compound.
Right, but I have a even better, grander plan. If maybe you want to come with me to Marsh Harbor, I'll show you.
I would love to go.
So I took some ABC News people from Miami with us into Marsh Harbor. Vado Boodle, who is a hero that you need to meet and have you on your show.
Who?
Vado Boodle.
You talking about the administrator?
He's one of the NEMA directors in Marsh Harbor, and he's the former president of Chamber of Commerce for Marsh Harbor. And he survived the storm, and he stayed there after the hurricane passed to help in the rescue and relief. And in my mind, he is a hero. And he spent a lot of time with us, helping us get the right materials to the right people in Marsh Harbor. And he is a hero, Vado Boodle.
I want to digress for a minute because my daddy, God bless his soul, used to work on what he called the contract. For about 6 months out of the year, we were living on Crooked Island. For about 6 months out of the year, he would be gone. And he would work, I guess, the groves and farms of Florida and Georgia. I know what he was picking, whether it was strawberry or what. But when he came back home, it was like Christmas. Because he had his money and he had plenty toys for us. In fact, I remember one time he bought the first truck on Crooked Island, I think, yeah. That was a time. And this was back in the 50s now.
Yep. Well, you saw in the paper today that Baker's Bay is laying off a substantial number of its workers because it's going to take longer to rebuild Baker's Bay than they expected. 80% of the workers at Baker's Bay lived in Marsh Harbor, and 20% lived in Guanakee. And both Marsh Harbor and Guanakee, today you can't even go there with money because there's nowhere to spend it. So there's no banks, there's no money to be had, and there's no store to be open to take the money. So I think that really what's needed is to, and President Trump offered millions and millions of dollars of assets. And under the Northern Command, they had Osprey helicopters, Navy helicopters, hospital helicopters. They had C-130s. They had these Black Hawk helicopters. I've never seen such physical prowess. And the young Coast Guard and Navy captains and pilots of these planes, they were on there full force. And the amount of money that was given to USAID and the medics that were there and the NGOs like Samaritan Purse that are there was really quite remarkable to see, particularly in those early days of the evacuation of the residents. I want to see Marsh Harbor, for example, get rebuilt better. And rather than rushing in with the plywood and the tarps to put a little patch on top of your roof, I'd like to see if there's a way to possibility of having a U.S. company come in and say, we're going to get the Army Corps of Engineers involved, we're going to help rebuild your town better. When the World Trade Centers went down in New York City, Mr. Silverstein didn't say, hey, I need my 2 World Trade Centers exactly where they were. Well, they took that disaster in New York City, that horrible event, more than 3,000 people died that day. They used that as an opportunity to rebuild Lower Manhattan to make it better. And today, the Freedom Tower and the surrounding area of Lower Manhattan that they redesigned and re-engineered is now one of the most visited places in the world.
Wow.
Behind the Vatican. And it improved the prices of real estate everywhere. And I want you to use this disaster as an opportunity to make the Bahamas better and not rebuild something that may be exposed to some future storm down the road.
I mentioned this yesterday, and it is so fortuitous and prophetic that you are here today talking this, and I didn't know you were coming. I said yesterday that I want to launch a program called Build Back Better, BBB, not Airbnb, BBB, Build Back Better.
It's a great idea. And Build Back Better done with U.S. companies is the way to do it, because they have the money and if the Bahamian government permits them to make a reasonable return, they will come. And because of telecommunications being what it is today, and you being so close, from this radio station to Fort Lauderdale is 175 miles. It's that close. Barges go up and down from New York City to Boston every day. I sent materials the other day to Eleuthera that left Palm Beach on one of the Bahamas ferries, and it left on Sunday, and it's at Rock Sound, Eleuthera at 4:30 a.m. this morning. You are close to the U.S. Florida is overburdened with people. People are flying and moving into Florida like crazy. And with telecommunications here, people can have second houses here. They may even decide to move here for more than 6 months. And so that provides the electricians' jobs, that provides the permanent jobs that you need. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't also have things like agriculture. So in Andros, where you have plenty of water, that could be the breadbasket of the Bahamas for the rest of the world. I mean, you have plenty of water there to do things. The farm that was at Hatchet Bay, I don't know if that should or shouldn't be reopened again, that had chickens and dairy, etc. But you have other assets beyond the tourism industry. But you want to have people build houses here, and you want people to become part of your community, which is most lovely. You're in the safest place in the Caribbean by far, and I think that Americans love Bahamian people, and as Felicity pointed out in an article that she wrote about a month ago, there's a long history. So when you talk about the program for your father to go to
the contract,
well, the contract today is to help maybe some of these Baker's Bay people go, well, they'll have sponsors. It won't cost the federal government of the United States a penny. And they can actually pay a little bit of taxes. And when things are good and ready to be rebuilt, they can come home. And I think if you build it better, they will come home. And they'll come home sooner and prosper better. So I think BBB is a great idea. And I was thinking of starting something like that myself.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And then, but I need some advisors. I need a Darold Miller.
Send me.
Let's go. Well, so then.
Good day, Daryl. The man you are talking to today is 109% right. The government needs to consider what the gentleman is asking. The need to consider this opportunity is very important. He's offering everything he said about. What he said about Eleuthera is true. Remember, when you were out by the fish fry, we always used to talk about a better Bahamas. Okay. Thank you so very, very much. I want to invite you now to join me for some okra soup.
I hear it's quite good.
Oh, man, you're going to love it. Kim, we are coming. Mr. Douglas.
Yeah.
They don't call you Bill.
They call me Dougie.
Dougie. Dal and Dougie are going to Divine Cafe for some okra soup. And Felicity coming too.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. The Prime Minister speaks this afternoon in Parliament. He's wrapping up the Disaster Preparedness Amendment Bill. So after Divine, we'll go there. At least I'm going.
Well, there's a chance that I might have to meet somebody.
Okay.
But I will know when I walk out of the door here.
God willing, then! I don't know when the House is going to meet after today. So I'll be back soon with another lively, provocative Darold Miller Live. Thank you, Doug. Excellent.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by Radio Bahamas and by extension the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.